Hey, this is Mike Salvietti, owner of Rock Your Body Bootcamp and MikeSalviettiFitness.com, and in this video I want to talk about your metabolism and make things a lot more simple for you, because a lot of people like to talk about the metabolism, they don't really know what it is. So basically your metabolism is whatever calories you burn. That's it. That's your metabolism. So your metabolism is built off of a couple things. First, we have what's called your base metabolic rate. That's the calories you would burn a day if you did nothing. If you just laid in bed all day, you would still burn whatever your base metabolic rate is to maintain your body. So anything you do on top of that is effectively boosting your metabolism for the day. Sitting burns more calories than laying down, standing burns more calories than sitting, walking burns more calories than standing still, and so on and so forth. So with that being said, there are essentially 4 different ways that you can increase your metabolism. First one you're probably familiar with is through exercise, or specifically the calories burned through exercise. Aside from that, we have what's called non-exercise activity. That's basically the calories you burn doing anything other than laying down or exercising. From there, we also have what's called the thermic effect of food. So those are the calories you burn just digesting the food you eat every day. Now, to get a little more specific with these, when we're talking about exercise, there's also a 4th calorie burner that we don't really keep attention to, and that's called exercise recovery. You see, certain exercise burns a lot of calories just recovering from that exercise. So, of these 4 things, most people would agree that exercise calorie burn is the most important, but that's simply not true. You see, when it comes to exercise, increasing your metabolism, there are exercises you can do that'll increase your base metabolic rate. Those exercises also tend to have the highest amount of exercise recovery involved. That's basically strength training or forms of strength training. You have metabolic resistance training where you're doing things at a very high intensity, like the boot camp workouts I do with my clients. You also have standard strength training, functional strength training, where it's body weight based movements with different forms of free weight. And a little bit more important than that is actually the non-exercise activity. You see, exercise, there's only so much you can do before it's damaging to your body and doing more harm than good. Whereas non-exercise activity, you can pretty much increase that all day long and not reap any negative effects. So, doing this as often as possible, anything other than exercise, that is activity, will effectively increase the amount of calories you're burning on a minute-to-minute basis all day. The problem is most people tend to sit all day, whether it's at work or driving or watching TV or eating, etc. Now, the thermic effect of food also comes into play for about 10% of your metabolism for the day, depending on what you're eating. Processed foods and foods that are not very dense in nutrients and vitamins, and foods that don't have a lot of fiber, things that are very quick absorbing sugars, don't burn a lot of calories through digestion. Things like fruits and vegetables that are very nutrient dense and dense in fiber and very slow digesting carbohydrates and lean proteins, stuff like that burns a lot of calories through digestion because there is more substance to them and they're harder to digest. So, with all these things coming into play, obviously, a lot of these factors are going to change from day to day. That means the amount of calories you burn a day is going to change from day to day. So wouldn't it make sense to change through foods and the amount of food you're eating each day as well? Also, having knowledge of these things takes away all the BS excuses that we like to make. You're not having a slower metabolism from being older. You're just gaining weight as a result of not doing these things as much and eating more food. Some people would argue that their metabolism slowed down from having kids. No, it didn't. You just slowed down because you had a large child inside of you and you started eating more food. So you stopped doing this and you stopped doing this, and that's why you gained fat during a pregnancy. When you got older or you went to college, you're sitting at college all day, you're sitting in classrooms all day and you're eating food that doesn't have a high thermic effect. That's what got you fat. When you got older, you also stopped doing things that were higher activity things. Most of the time, it's also that you stopped exercising and you started eating more. So let's stop making these excuses about our metabolism. Let's stop talking about our metabolism like it's this magical thing and just start calling it what it is. Move more, lift things, and eat less food. That's it for this lesson for today. If you liked it, post a comment below with other questions that you might have, and maybe I'll make some more videos like this one. Also, if this got a little complicated for you and you need some clarification, you can leave a comment below too, and I'll be more than happy to answer that for you. Thanks a lot.